Welcome to What's on Rotation. This is renttv, and today we're gonna do an album review of Playboi Carti, iammusic. Alright, so this album, I don't like to beat around the bush, bro. Let's just get right to it. This is a good album. It's really a good album. I like it. It's 30 songs, but it doesn't really feel like 30 songs. You know, it's like the order is good where you could actually bump the whole tape and I feel like, man, I just listened to 30 songs. I listened to the whole thing through, and the only time I felt like, man, how much more is left was the second to last song, which is great. And I wasn't even thinking about it oh, how much is left on a bad note, because I feel like it gets to a point where if you checking for that stuff, then it's okay, maybe the album is too long. No diddy. But it got to a point where I was like, man, how much more is left? But that was the second to last song. So that wasn't that. So that's not that bad. And then it was just that song, and then there was one more left. I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. It's after this is the outro. I'm like, okay. So they kind of got that right. And that was I feel like off just face value, that was the one thing you think about, man, 30 songs, that's a lot. But that was cool. The vibe of the album was cool. I'm into that type of music, so I'm into that type of music. And I feel like even if you weren't, it's still, you could vibe to it. But I understand that there are some people who don't really like that type of music. So it's just man, this is just garbage. But it wasn't. It was a good tape. It was really good, bro. I liked it. I liked it. The only thing that was wrong with it, and I know people act like they like this guy a lot, so every time you say something about him, everybody start acting crazy. But I don't really care. I just tell the truth, bro. None of that stuff matters to me. You can say what you want. The only thing wrong with the album was Kendrick, bro. It was Kendrick, bro. That was the only thing wrong with the album. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for him to be on the album. I'm just saying he could have been on one song and it would have been fine. But the fact that he was on the album multiple times, I feel like that's the negative side of the album. But that's the only thing wrong with the album. It's why are you on the album so much? I know Drake and P&D just dropped an album, but that's a collab album, bro. This is not a collab album. And the funny thing with it is bro, the first song he was on where he was just doing the ad-libs, that threw me off. That was the first thing that threw me off. I was just why is he even on the ad-libs? I'm he threw the song off because his tone didn't match Carti's tone on the song. And then what Carti talks about and what he talks about don't match. Carti was talking about street shit. And then he came doing the ad-libs on some street shit, and it's bro, that's not your lane. That's not your lane. So it's when you talk about street shit, you do it from a third person perspective. That's your lane. That's what you made a name doing. So it's it just threw me off. It's bro, I don't want to hear you doing that in the background, bro. It sounded crazy to me. I'm man, what is this? And then the other songs he's on is cool, but it's bro, you could have just been on one song. Why you all over his album? And it's I agree with Kanye tweeted some stuff concerning the Playboi Carti album. I agree with Kanye's tweet when he came to at least the sentiment of his tweet when he came to the Playboi Carti album and Kendrick. I don't think he should have been all over that album like that. And the thing with Kendrick and his fans, now everybody's gonna start giving Kendrick credit more than Carti. Where it's like Kendrick is gonna come and take so much of the shine from Carti. And then the funny thing with it, Kendrick fans have been shitting on people who make the type of music Carti makes for the longest, for his whole career, bro. It's always been him where he's at, and then people who make the type of music that Carti make where they're at. They shit on people who make that type of music, bro. Constantly talking about how much better the people who make the Kendrick type of music are, how these people are mumble rappers. They talk about how people like rappers like Carti are mumble rappers. They messing up hip hop. They fuck everything up. They can't even rap. Like guys like Carti go do interviews. All these people that these old heads who like a certain type of rap would be clowning these guys, shitting on them. They've been shitting on them their whole career, bro. People who like Kendrick hate people who make the type of music Carti makes, bro. His fans hate that type of music, bro. Their whole thing is, oh, people who make Kendrick type of music, they're way better than people who make Carti type of music. People who make Carti type of music, they shouldn't even be in hip hop. That's garbage. So it's kind of crazy to see him all over a Carti album. Like, that's some hypocritical shit, bro. And then now people are acting like, oh, he executive producer, whatever the hell they're saying, giving him credit. And it's like, what? Bro, people been messing with Carti, bro. Carti been lit. Carti been have fans. Carti's album is probably gonna outsell his album. It's like his last album. It's like, bro, Kendrick didn't make Carti lit. And the funny thing is, guys like Kanye, excuse me, I can see why he's mad about this. Because guys like Kanye been talking about Carti. He's been saying Carti's the future. He's been around Carti. He's been showing Carti love. He's been speaking about Carti for the longest, always hyping up Carti, bro. So what he's saying, as far as that, it's kind of valid, bro. It's kind of valid, bro. And he could say it because he's been around Carti. And you could pull up how many interviews Kanye done did talking about Carti, how much he messes with Carti, bro. And Kendrick and his fans been on the other side of that, bro. They hate that type of music, bro. Now people are talking like, oh, yeah, the album is good. They're making it seem like the album is good because of like Kendrick. No, it's not, bro. Carti's first album is a classic. I don't care what nobody says, bro. His first album is a classic, bro. I was bumping that religiously, bro. I know every song on that album, and there's a lot of people who've been messing with Carti, bro. They're making it seem like, oh, Kendrick. It's like, bro, like, no, bro. No, bro. Why is he all over his album, bro? Kanye is right with that, bro. And he has the right to say that too, because Kanye been there with Carti, bro. That's the only negative thing about this album that I see, bro. It's like, why is he all over this guy's album, bro? There are other people who's... And the thing with Kendrick, bro, I feel like this is something he needs to be aware of as a person, bro. Because you come off as selfish. When you are the type of person you are and the fans that you have to be aware to not make other people look small, bro. You have to be aware of that, where you got to do certain things to know that, okay, the type of person I am, the place that I've gotten to, like, I could make people look small. You have to be aware of that. Like, I saw an interview that Ab-Soul did. And he was talking about how, bro, all his plaques have Kendrick's name on it. Everything to do with him always somehow has to have Kendrick tied to it. where it's almost like Kendrick makes him look small. And he was sharing that sentiment. And I feel like that's the same thing that happened to everybody on TDE, where nobody else could kind of even elevate to that level, except for like SZA, but she's a girl. It's like the girls could kind of do it because that's different. But all the guys that surround him, it's like you can't go nowhere, bro. Because he's going to make you look small. And I feel like he doesn't do enough to make sure that, okay, man, I got to be aware of that. So it comes off like he's selfish. It comes off as like he just comes and suck up, no Diddy, all the energy in the room. And I see glimpse of it on this Carti album, bro. And it's funny how his fans, they would only come and compliment the album because of Kendrick to them. When in reality, they hate this type of music. They've always hated this type of music, but they've always spoke up against this type of music. It's so funny. But all that aside, it was a good album, bro. Like, I like it a lot. It's a good album. It's a good album. Like, he did his thing. I feel like in Atlanta now, he's number one in Atlanta now. You know? I feel like he took that spot. But the thing with Carti, he's also one of those guys that he's outside, but he kind of stays away. He stays away from a lot of things where you don't really see him that much. He's not that visible. And I feel like he does that, like, he's conscious of that. He's doing that consciously, like, where you're not going to see him a lot. And that's the tricky thing with it. It's like you could take that number one spot, but if people are not really seeing you a lot and you're not the type of guy that you want people to see you a lot, it's like bittersweet for the fans, at least, because they want to see you. And I'm not saying you should put yourself out there if you don't, because people should focus on the music. But I'm talking about as far as like videos, as far as maybe interviews. And I know interviews are annoying, but just find the people you mess with and do interviews. Or you could shoot your own interview in the crib. You could shoot your own interview in the crib. Drop it on your own page. Find somebody you mess with to sit down and talk to you. Just so the fans could kind of like hear from you. Like, because I know it could be annoying to go sit down and talk to somebody, especially when you know people are fake, bro. Sometimes some people don't want to do that. But you have to think about the fans, though, because like they support you, they're the ones that really change your life. They're the ones that's really like helping you provide for your family. And I'm not saying you should give them everything they want, but here and there you can like show a little ajo, which means a little effort, a little appreciation. So you can show a little ajo sometimes. Like, I appreciate y'all for appreciating me. So here you go. Like, you know, but just do it in your own way, where it's like, okay, now at least I'm a little comfortable. And you can edit it and present it the way you want, you know. It's like a compromise. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about the album.